pledge allegiance Welcome everyone. Thank you all for joining us for this very special event. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you all a favor. Just outside the front doors, to the left and across the bus street, there is a dark, towering structure surrounded by benches and chains. On the structure are the emblems of the 5 branches of the U.S. military, as well as an inscription. There is a quote from this inscription that I would like to share with you all. All veterans gave something. Many veterans endured more. Some veterans sacrificed all. After we wrap up here and everyone exits the building, I ask that you take a few moments to visit this memorial and think about all those in your life that are serving and or have served. I think about those in my life every time I see them. My father and my uncle both served in the Navy. My grandpa was in the Air Force, and my sister is currently serving in the Air Force. I'm even planning on enlisting after high school or during high school, whichever they let me do. I just ask that you take a few minutes to think about and thank those veterans in your life. Now we would like to recognize the veterans of the Fairless staff. Mrs. James Courtney, U.S. Army. Mr. Phil Glasgow, U.S. Air Force. And Mr. Virgil King, U.S. Army. We would also like to recognize the students of this high school that are joining the military upon graduation. Riley Richard, U.S. Navy. And now our choir is going to sing Salute to the Armed Forces. And when your branch is called, if you have served, please stand so that we may recognize you.
Marching all about in the streets. As we honor our veterans today, I did ask a special guest to join us and to give a few words about service. I'd like to introduce him at this time, Colonel Brent Merritt. Colonel Merritt is also my older brother, so thank you, Brent, for being here today. He traveled all the way from Peachtree City, Georgia, so he can be here with us today. So thank you. Brent was a 1986 graduate of Hoover High School. From there, he graduated and went to the United States Air Force Academy. While he was at the Air Force Academy, he played football and was a member of the Falcons, 87 and 89 Commander in Chiefs trophy winning teams. Upon graduation, he entered flight school at Columbus Air Force Base in Mississippi, where upon completion, he became a C-141 pilot, a C-17 pilot, and a C-130 pilot. Also was a squadron commander of the 317th Airlift Squadron. He has served in operations to provide comfort, restore hope, joint endeavor, enduring freedom, and Iraqi freedom. He has earned the Meritorious Service Medal, Aerial Achievement Medal, Air Force Commendation Medal, Air Force Achievement Medal, Air Force Outstanding Unit Award, Air Force Productivity Excellence Award, and Air Combat Action Medal. So he's finished his career at the 94th Airlift Wing in Dobbins Air Force Base in Georgia, where he oversaw 2,500 wing personnel and 12,000 tenant personnel. Currently, he flies for Delta Airlines and lives in Peachtree City, Georgia. So thank you for being here, Colonel Merritt.
I hope somebody caught that on tape. That's the nicest thing he's ever said to me. It is an honor to be with you today, and I add my salute and thanks and service to our veterans. I think it's great that you come out and example to the younger generation of service, to the band for being here. I'm so impressed that you know all the words and all the different services. That's awesome, choir. Thank you. To Riley, best of luck. Enjoy that hairdo. That's awesome. This is your future. Well, it's great to be in Stark County. This is home for me. I love it here. As I was driving through, it reminded me of Greentown, Ohio, which is, you guys probably don't even know where that's at, in northern Stark County. And a lot like here we have in our township, Uniontown and Parkville. And the folks from North Kent needed some better athletes and some tougher guys, so they made Greentown part of North Kent, and we became Hoover. And I heard all that. That's what happens in each city. That's where all the good athletes, tough guys are. Is that true? No. Maybe I had that wrong. Was it Bruce or maybe tomorrow? I don't know. Anyway, what I'm here to talk about today is we're all called to serve. And what you've done is you've come through the doors of Fairless High School. You're all Fairless Falcons. You come from different backgrounds, different little towns, but you've come together as one in excellence. Congratulations to the football team on Pac-7 championships. I see the spirit. My brother sends me stuff. I see it on Twitter. The band, I want to do the Ring of Fire sometime after a football game, that's for sure. That looks like so much fun. The exciting things that we have happened here with a new school district, our new high school, it's an exciting place to be. And you've already done the first step of what it means to be a team and what it means to serve by coming together for excellence. Coming together for a unified purpose is what we're all called to do. And that's really how my service started, a lot the same way that you guys did. When I came into Hoover High School, they really cared if I was from Greentown. When I left and went to the Air Force Academy, they really cared that I was from Ohio. We all came together as Air Force cadets, and we learned together. Then when I got in the Air Force, nobody cared that I went to the Air Force Academy. They wanted to know that I fly an airplane and complete the mission. And then, that mission, that purpose to serve became a fly, fight, win. And then as I became, as we had conflicts that I had no idea that were coming up, everything, I thought I'd missed out on all the warfare when I was in pilot training and we had the first Gulf War. I thought I'd missed it because it only came around, it seemed like every 20 years. Little did I know I'd be serving in different combat areas from Somalia to Bosnia, Herzegovina to over in Kosovo. And then when 9/11 happened, and I can't believe it, none of you were born in the student body before 9/11, which is unbelievable to me. And for us to go over to Iraq and Afghanistan and have to serve, and then you realize you're part of a joint fighting force, and you have the whole country behind you. And what I'm trying to illustrate is we became a team for a unified purpose to defend this country. And when you are on a team like that, serving for a common purpose, there's nothing more rewarding. And I hope that you get to experience that. And we are all called to serve, and it may be in different ways. Some of the ways, I salute the teachers here. That is service. We're not all called to serve in the military, and I'll kind of give you a distinguishing characteristic of that in a little bit. But for our policemen, firefighters, first responders, that is service to the greater goal. A purpose serving you and all the citizens of this country. Find out what your purpose is. It may not be the military. If it is, I'm happy to talk with you about it. It was a great thing for me, but I realize we're all called and given different talents by our good Lord. With that said, I kind of want to talk about the difference in what it means to serve in the military, why we say thanks for your service, and why we have assemblies like this on this day. Well, the biggest thing is, I give my brother a hard time about defending the Rocky Mountains for 2 years of his service when I did 30 years. But his service was really just as important. And the reason why is he raised his right hand and said, I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So anybody who served is serving to pledge their life to give for that Constitution. That's why our history teachers make such a big deal about that Constitution. You said we're going to lay down our life if necessary to support our way of life. And that is quite worthy of our respect and gratitude. And that's why we do this. I also like to highlight, sometimes it may be weird when you come across somebody in the armed services. We also have Armed Forces Day. Armed Forces Day is in May. And that's for people that are currently serving. So if you know a family of somebody who's currently serving, say thanks for serving. When I hear thanks for your service, it's for older guys like me really who've already served. But thanks for defending us. Memorial Day is really the special one. And that's why it's such a national holiday that we all love. Because those folks gave the ultimate price. They're the ones who laid down their lives so that we can be free. And when you think of freedom, when I've gone over to Afghanistan and you see people, women in burqas, women who are not allowed to go to school and be educated. When you're in Iraq and you realize, can you imagine if somebody from the Methodist church shot somebody from the Baptist church because even though they're Christian, they believe somewhat differently, or if you're from a different state, you're attacking somebody else within the United States. And that's the difference. That's the things I was able to see. And I know we love our freedom, and it is something very palpable when we go over there and see what lack of freedom looks like. It's a very stark reality. And I'm so thankful for this country and the rights that we have with it. So yes, thank them for their service, the veterans, definitely. And if you want to know more about them, ask why they serve. And again, part of the reason why I serve is our way of life, for the freedoms that we have, for this generation. I hear a lot of bad things on news about our new generation. I think y'all are great. You have a lot of creativity. You care more about others than maybe past generations. You are our hope and our future. And so, again, that's one of the reasons why I served. I illustrated how our team got bigger, though. And little did I know when I raised my right hand really what I was getting into. But as your team got bigger, you got to know folks from different backgrounds. They really become the reason why you serve. And you don't want to let them down. And that's what kept motivating for me. If you want to get to know a veteran even deeper, how did you serve? And I kind of joke if you meet a fighter pilot, be careful with that because you may need a whole day in order to listen to all about them. They're very self-centered. And then they may ask you to come back the next day and then talk about their work. But ask how did they serve? Folks have great stories, great wisdom, and perseverance that they can share with you. What I also implore you to do, again, as you find the way that you're going to serve society, vote, become involved, become, hold leaders accountable, find different ways that you can volunteer. We all can do that. Share the talents that God gave you because we all need them. We all become better. The biggest leadership lesson that I ever learned was everybody has something to contribute. You may not understand what their talent is or how they're talented, but they have something to contribute, and you can learn from everyone. I recall, for me, a quote from John F. Kennedy, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And I think a lot of times today, we love our rights, but we also have responsibilities in this democracy to give back to our country and our communities. As I close, I get a little chuckle when somebody says, thanks for your service. It's given so much to me. Education, friendships that I'll never forget, experiences. I've been at every state in the United States, 5 continents, dozens and dozens of countries. It's given my kids education, health care. The country will take care of you. And so I appreciate the gratitude that you show the veterans, but like anything else, it's what that you put into it is what you will receive. And your country will take care of you if you care to serve. Again, I'm happy to talk with anyone who would like to know more about service. What I ask for you to do today is you see the parallels with my beginnings and your beginnings. And I'm here to tell you, there's nothing you cannot do. You have a community that loves you, supports you, gives you opportunities to succeed. Dream big, help each other out, and do the best you can. Really, all anybody asks from you is to show up, give it 100%, try your best, and you will have your paths directed. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. I hope all the veterans have a great day of reflection. And again, God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Great message. As we wrap up, we're going to take a moment to honor those veterans who couldn't be here with us today. So we're going to take a moment of silence, and then we're going to play taps. So a moment of silence for all those who couldn't be here today. Students, as you leave here today, our hope is that you take a few things away from the messages that you've heard the last few weeks, from our Hall of Honor recipients, from our Veterans Day Assembly today. You know, you've heard words. Those words have meaning. Words like hope, dreams, purpose, service. If you want to lead a full, happy life, the recipe is pretty simple. Lead a life of service, as our veterans have done as a demonstration to you. There's a quote from Pablo Picasso, you might have heard of him. It says, "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." When you work to make your home, your class, your school, your community, your country, and even the world a better place by serving others, those gifts will be returned back to you. So I appreciate your time and your attentiveness at this time. We're going to, everybody please stand, and we will retire the colors. Thank you. After the band starts playing, all of our veterans and guests, please feel free to join us in the cafeteria. We have a light reception for you. Also, as a student, if you'd like to come and ask any questions, feel free to do so. We'll write you a pass back to class. Thank you again for being here today. Thank you, veterans, for your service to our country. It's greatly appreciated.